since my staff had gotten partially broken, the one end is a little bit sharper. So I'm basically going to use the techniques that the dwarven spearmen had taught me, plus my training with it in the hotel that I smashed the lamp. I'm basically gonna try and pike it.
Okay, well, we can only use one preparation per time, just in case you're planning on using.
Oh yeah,
But
we'll
yeah,
just use the spearman training.
absolutely. So that sounds like you are both about to enter combat. So roll me a hack and slash, please. Strength plus 1.
Or you to rise it.
That's
Yeah,
just-
you're able to get it, and it gets you. Roll your damage. And take
That's pretty
1d6 damage with 2 piercing.
Oh,
Yeah, the birds, they hurt. Logar, one of these creatures, has just impaled the tiny Surrak a few feet behind you. It's about to
And I'm
flutter its
whacking my
wings
stick
and
on
get
it.
back up into the air. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna charge it and try to skewer it.
Awesome. Trying to like get over there quick, I'm guessing.
Uh,
Or
well,
are you like planning your path specifically on quickest path to get there? Gonna try to climb a tree or what?
I'm just gonna run full speed and try to just go straight through it.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds. We'll say that sounds like to get there.
I just try to plow my way through everything.
Danger being you don't get there in time. Oh yeah, you get there in time. Go ahead and roll your damage. This thing was trying to get away. It wasn't expecting. Oh yeah, yeah. You slice it. You slice it, the wing off one side cleanly. It just completely flops to the ground, gurgles a few more times, and bleeds out.
Ha!
Kenshin, this creature and you are having a little bit of a tug of war as you're being lifted higher into the ground, about 15 feet in the ground now, and it begins flying away from the fight. What do you want to do?
Well, this actually works in my favor, and I'm gonna piss this bird off to no end.
Good.
I'm actually going to hold on with one hand and just pull out my little knife and just nick it to leave a blood trail, and then let it take me where it will. Go ahead, bird. Let's do
Okay.
this.
Yeah, that sounds like quick thinking. Like, I'm gonna leave a blood trail, so intelligence.
Nope.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, Kenshin, you are beginning to be carried further and further away from the fight. We'll catch up with you shortly.
Bye, guys.
Terrace, you've landed on the ground. You now see that there's still 2 of these birds. They are now just sitting on the top of the tree branches looking at you as Kenshin is carried off beyond where you can see. What do you want?
So I'm coming out of the roll, and as I'm starting to get back on my feet, I whip out my bow, I knock an arrow, and I aim and fire at one of them.
Go for it. Are you trying to shoot the one that Kenshin was with, or one of the others that are just sitting up there?
Kenshin said he was gonna handle that one, so I'm gonna listen to what he says. I think I'm gonna
Sounds
aim
good.
for.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll your volley then, please. Sounds good. And roll your damage. And what are you taking that roll?
Let's say I have to move to get a better shot.
Absolutely. Yeah, you move to take aim at one of them, and as you do, the other one begins charging. Logar, you see this bird is charging Terrace. Terrace has just taken the shot, pierced one of them in the shoulder. It's about 15, 10.
I'm gonna bring my shield down and just kind of bring it inwards and try to break its neck by swinging it through it.
All right. Yeah, that sounds like you're trying to it's trying to fight with Terrace, and you're trying to defend. You're
Yeah.
trying to stop that from occurring. Awesome. Let's do another roll we haven't done before. Love it.
Awesome.
That's Constitution there. Paladin standing in to try to do what you gotta do. Oh yeah, no big deal. You get 3
Beautiful.
hold. All right, let me tell you about these holds because you probably don't have it up right now. You can spend hold 1-to-1 on the following option. Redirect an attack from the thing you defend to yourself. To have the attack's effect or damage. Open up the attacker to an ally, giving that ally a +1 forward against the attacker. Or deal damage to the attacker equal to your level. You get 3 of those holds. You've just stopped this creature from attacking. Clangs off your shield. It's there for a second.
Oh, excuse me. I'm going to redirect the attack to me.
Okay.
I'm gonna deal the equal to my level, so 2 damage,
Okay.
and then I'm going to open up the attacker to an ally.
And who are you trying to open it up to?
Well, hopefully Terrace. He's like right there.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, how I'm seeing this is like as it comes in, you kind of dodge in with your shield and you jam it right in its gut. Poof, kind of knock the wind out of it, and as it does, it swings its talons up and hits you right kind of underneath where your helmet is and right where the top piece of your chest plate is, so it kind of gouges you right in the neck. So you take the 1d6 plus with 2 piercing damage right in the gut. But as you kind of drop away, Terrace, you have an open shot. Get a +1 forward. It's right there. It's within reaching distance.
That's yeah, it's between my armor, so.
And
I take-
yeah, and it's
don't
2
damage.
piercing. So.
So I take 4.
No. You just take 2.
Oh.
Piercing damage is you have the first part, so it could be a 2 to 6, and at least 2 of those go through armor.
Okay, so those 2 go through my armor.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Terrace, you see Logar kind of dive over you, jab this creature in the gut with his shield. Talons kind of rip up and spray a little bit of blood past his neck, kind of drapes down his back. You see you have one quick moment you could get a jab in there. What do you want to do?
I pick my sword up off the ground and just try to swing right at it.
Absolutely. Roll that hack and slash. Strength, please. And roll that damage. Yeah, you
Man,
get...
every time.
You go down and you slice its leg and you get a good gash in there, but the creature is able to back up and start flying back. It's going kind of quickly away from you two. Sirach, you see this bird is starting to kind of get away. You see blood dripping down its gut. You can see that the feathers around its stomach are now malformed and almost crunched in, like some ribs may have been broken. What do you want to do there, Sirach?
So the one that was holding me is no longer.
The one that was holding you?
Yeah, because like it came down and grabbed me, and I was hitting it with my stick.
Oh, it just punctured you. It didn't end up picking you up.
Okay.
It went back up into the air. It's back behind you now. So you have this dude, whatever, like there, and this thing is back there. Kenshin has,
Taken off.
yeah, if I can get all the
Nice.
pieces.
Flying way somewhere.
He's up there. Whatever. He lost his leg. Yeah. Anyways, you got 2 of these birds
Okay.
left. One
Well,
is
I'm
near
going
Terrace
to-
and Logar, and the other is back behind them. Back.
Well, I'm going to go into snake form and kind of like quickly coil up the tree and try and, devour the bird that's behind me or to my left.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go ahead and see how well that change is going to be. Yeah. No worries. These birds are probably too big for you to simply devour right away, but
Well, yeah,
if you
more like just grab on and
yeah, you can
um,
definitely like venom, poison
yeah.
them. Let's see. I have for snake. Coil, poison, and swim. So yeah, can-
we'll actually go with coil when I get up there and just kind of like crush it.
okay. Yeah, let's say, I mean, even as the snake, you don't have any quick way necessarily to get up the tree. So go ahead and defy danger, dexterity. Danger being it sees you coming and either tries to make an attack or might try to flee. All right, so yeah, it appears that it may go for an attack if you get too close, or it might simply flee. Do you want to try to charge it? It might try to go after you, or kind of let it go
we'll
for
go
now.
ahead and go after it.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to get up there, and you start wrapping it up, and as it does, it starts kind of clawing at you, trying to get free. And you take 1d6 with 2 piercing damage as you start tightening around this bird. But you have it completely, fully locked up to the point that it's starting to shrink because you're cutting the life, like the breath out of it. Every breath it takes is more shallow and shallow than the last. What do you want to do there, Sirach?
I'm just gonna keep tightening around it till it's no more.
Yeah, it takes you no time at all before you've squeezed and you hear just a pop as the neck kind of snaps, and there's just a loose, lifeless corpse in your grasp.
Yes,
let it go.
technically it's lifelike.
Lifeless. Words is hard. Logar ends up
Well, it
being
is
exploded by
lifelike.
random.
Until it hits the ground, and then it doesn't look so good.
Yeah, no, it thwomps to the ground. Logar, you hear this thump and you turn around. There's a dead corpse. The other bird is still kind of trying to fly away, but it's not as quick as it was. It's about 10 feet off the ground, probably about 15 feet away from you. What do you want to do, Logar?
I don't know how well it would work. Oh, that's. I want to take one of Terrace's arrows and just chuck it to the bird.
Okay.
a
That would
javelin.
be. I would say that's up to.
What's up to me exactly? Just him taking an arrow and trucking it?
Yeah, I would say that's probably a loss of 1 ammo in order to do this, and then he would be doing a volley roll. But I would say you could aid him, so that would be a potential +1 for him.
Doing
I
all
mean-
the fancy moves.
Sure, we can try. I'm
Okay.
fine with it.
Do you have any bond with Logar, Paris?
No, I do not.
Okay. So just do a straight up 2d6. On a 10 plus, he gets a +1 forward. On a 7 to 9, any danger that comes to him comes.
Okay.
On a 6, see what happens.
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Terrace,
Bad
why?
experience.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No,
Take
yeah.
that experience. But what ends up happening is you pull the arrow out, right? And you go to throw it, but you throw it a little bit too hard. So please roll your damage as somehow you find that one part of Logar. Yeah, that whatever armor you have. But Logar, you have an arrow piercing your chest piece now, if you choose to want to use it.
What, I get stabbed? Is that what
Oh
happens?
yeah, no, he threw it. He just threw it really hard, and so it hit you, and you took 5 damage
I thought it
minus
was
whatever
next to me.
armor you had.
I thought
Oh, I really.
I
hit
was
hard.
throwing the arrow.
Oh yeah, but he had to give you the arrow first, hence the aid
He
roll.
threw it at me? and
He did
stabbed me?
really, really hard.
So I take 2 damage?
You take 2 damage from this arrow,
Okay, sure.
but you have an arrow now.
Oh.
Like I picture, this is what I'm seeing, right? Logar is facing away towards this bird. Terrace, you're behind him. Logar calls out, "Terrace, give me one of your arrows!" Right? And Terrace is like, "I'm 10 feet away. What am I gonna do?" So you take one out and you throw it, and it goes right into the little piece of opening right on the top of the thigh underneath the butt cheek, and you feel this like this bite in your ass. Right, and you go and you feel, and there's a freaking arrow just stuck there.
Why
Whatever,
do I need a bow if I can throw these that hard?
I'm gonna yank it out and throw it to the damn bird.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your volley, please.
What is that, Dex?
Dexterity.
X.
Oh boy, yay.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Roll
Nice.
that damage. Alrighty then. Yeah, you throw this so perfectly, it actually goes through the throat of the bird, and just it coughs blood and falls and just hits the ground dead.
Yeah, I threw an arrow through a bird. That was the greatest thing ever.
All the birds lay lifeless. As we swipe over to a very lovely camera shot of a gray kind of sky. It looks kind of cold and frosty, and we slowly turn to our left to see Kenshin hanging beneath this flying creature, blood kind of slowly dripping down its legs. You've been going like this for a while, at least a few miles, Kenshin, when you start to see what appear to be building-like structures on the tops of trees down below you. Oh, apparently my camera's back. Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, you start seeing yourself go through, and as you look down, you see that there appears to be some kind of vine bamboo type cage that you see 4 other humans down in. And the creature begins to shake its legs, trying to get you to fall off.
Am I over this cage?
You are. Yeah, you're about probably 10 feet off the ground. The cage appears to be hanging up in there, and you can see that there's 4 humanoid shapes down in it.
But I'm hanging over the cage. Is the cage open on top?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's wanting to drop you in the cage.
Okay. I am actually just going to, at this point, I'm going to, yeah, I'm just gonna stab it through its gut. Just pull the sword out and just, I'm done with this ride.
Okay.
It's done what I needed it to do.
Yeah, roll your damage. Oh yeah, you cut through it. It's clean, well not clean because you're forceful and messy.
Forceful and messy.
It's an explosion. So as you're falling down, you see blood and guts falling around you, but none of it's touching you. It's all falling around you, and you land in this cage. It kind of bounces down and bounces up, and you hear this gruff voice say, "What in the fucking hell, mate?" And you look up, there's this large man standing in darkened black leather armor that's now coated in just mess, standing in front of you, appearing to be a little angry as you find yourself inside this bamboo cage, and you hear an extremely loud, shrill call and start to hear a see a ton of movement up in the trees.
Well, my ride brought me where I wanted to go, so I didn't need it anymore. That's
Yeah,
what they get for attacking me.
You look around and you see that there are 3 other men in here. They all are on their knees, facing away from you. They appear to be facing towards the coast, and they all appear to be meditating.
Brothers, Logar, Paladin of the Lost, sends his regards.
The lost. Oh, brothers, it's true. We must be saved. Oh, you just had to make yourself quite an entrance, didn't you?
Well,
As he says that,
is kind of my job.
a circle begins to form above you of shadows, of feathers, and it appears to be getting larger and larger. Like more and more are joining. And as that occurs, and the sky, or the light begins to darken with the glimpses of shadows of birds above you, we go back to the camp where there's some dead birds. There be a couple of our heroes here doing their thing, just slaying. And so what do you guys all want to do? As there's no sign of Kenshin, there's no sign of movement. There's a corpse in the middle of a human that appears to be wearing darkened black leathers that has an emblem of a lion skull covered in black blood. And a whole bunch of dead birds. Some cut in half, some smashed, some simply lifeless, like the life had been squeezed out of them.
I'm gonna search all of the corpses.
They're birds, so you find a lot of different colored feathers and stuff. What are you looking for exactly?
Oh, I didn't mean all the birds. I thought there was more than one corpse.
Oh yeah, no, there's definitely the corpse of a man. Is that what you're trying to?
Yeah, that's what I meant. I thought there was like more than one.
No, there's just one.
Yeah, I'll just search the dude.
Yeah, you find he's got about 100 coins on him. He's got a basic dagger. And then he has the leather armor, but the chest piece has been rendered useless by being cut down. Oh.
I'll take the coins. And then I'll behead him and bury his head.
You didn't fight him though.
Doesn't matter. Guy fighting, from what I can tell.
All right. I'm just trying to get an understanding on your god.
My god judges.
It pretty much sounds like behead anything at this point.
Basically,
Like
yeah,
that's
anyone
just
that dies, just take their head off.
just behead.
Unless I can tell they were, a coward and ran away and fought using dirty tactics, they're not for me to judge.
Okay. Yeah. You go ahead around beheading all the creatures.
Yes. And I just bury all the heads in a pile.
Interesting. While this is happening,
Mass
Terrace, what are you
graves.
doing?
Apologizing for striking Logar from behind, hoping to not get beheaded myself.
Yeah. You missed that, Hawk. I asked for an arrow, and so he threw it so hard it pierced me in the ass. And then I pulled it out and threw it through a bird, through its neck, and killed it.
That's super awesome considering you're wearing full plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, he found that one little spot between the ass plate and the thigh plate and just put it right in there.
Nice.
But other than that, I want to try to track the blood of the bird that Kenshin was holding on to, or that the bird that was holding on to Kenshin. Not sure which it was.
Mm-hmm.
But try to find the blood and track it to where it went.
Sounds good. Yeah, that will be wisdom. While you're doing that, Sirach, what are you up to? Still in your snake form.
Well, I'm just gonna come out of the tree and follow. Can't remember Seta's name.
Terrace.
Yeah, Terrace.
Sounds good. Awesome. Well, yeah, you're able to find the blood trail. It gets a little difficult in parts because it goes over like a lot of leaves. Blood doesn't always make it to the ground, but you're able to follow it for a pretty decent distance. You guys actually travel for a couple hours inland, and then you start to see something in the sky. It appears to be a cloud forming, but it's not a cloud. It's a very large amount of birds that appear to be very pissed off for some strange reason and circling above something a few miles out.
Wonder why.
Kenshin, the sound is getting a little ridiculous at this point. It's a lot of squeaking and squealing.
Oh, at this point, I'm doing the whole bellow. Bring me your leader, or have me as yours.
All right, yeah, do it.
You trying to become the leader?
The guy's like, what in the hell are you doing? Like, you could tell he's seen some shit, and he's like, stop.
He obviously doesn't know me.
Kid, this is unwise. Do you not see how many there are?
My blade still thirsts if they would have it. Oh yes, another fail. Oh, I love it when that happens.
Yeah,
Nice
go
guys
ahead
are
and
just like, nope.
Well,
Only the weakest fall for it though.
is that let me pull yours up. That's a miss.
You asked for the leader, so
What are you
the weak
waiting
ones are gonna get-
for? Say what happens on
Yeah,
a
it
miss.
it actually doesn't say. Huh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they ignore you,
They don't care. Okay, fine.
but these strange, naked, featherless creatures with wings start to walk or waddle along the boardwalks of these nest-like structures that are linked one to another. And they begin gurgling in their mouth. Right, you see their cheeks kind of puffling up. They get right to the edge.
Oh, I've
this
seen
cage.
birds. I've seen birds, other birds before, having watched nature. I'm just going to, I'm just gonna like move behind the big guy.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a dexterity thing, because there's about to be a lot of bird stuff heading into the
you
cage.
just bend the big guy over, and you're just like, ah.
Just like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not interested in the birds. So that's a 9.
All right, yeah. He starts to scream in agony, and you start to smell of burning flesh, air.
Oh, this poor bastard. I'm gonna pull out my pistol and blow his head off. I'm putting him out of his misery. Just.
Yeah, that sounds good. He drops to the bottom of the cage, and the hole that you formed on the front of his face gets all this stuff, this green vomit-like fluid inside, and it eats away his head to his neck. To within just a few mere seconds, it's nothing but leather laying there. A few things dripping off of it. The birds kind of tilt their head and begin kind of doing the same process of building up in their mouth. In the meantime, while you're seeing that, and you're thinking about what you're gonna do,
You bastard, I love it.
Terrace, you notice that this flock of birds is turning and getting wider, and it's probably gonna be spreading over the area you're in soon. From your best count, this is probably about 50 birds total, just in a huge flock of these large creatures. They don't notice you guys yet. They're pissed off by something happening in their home. There's madness going on, or something. Badger got into the hen coop. There's a fox in the hen house.
Well, I wonder why they're circling. Think it could be our screaming behemoth in silk?
Possibly. Does
It
seem
seems-
the kind to piss off birds.
True. You want to piss him off to get some off his back?
Probably feeds them bread. We
If-
can.
If that's the plan, you guys want to.
As long as you throw no more arrows.
I'd rather try and stealth and take out the source so they disperse than fight through that many.
Oh,
Freak 'em
where's
out.
the fun in that?
Hmm. I hide behind one of the trees and wait for the cloud to grow larger.
Okay. Yeah, within
Catch them off guard when they have the chance.
within a few moments, the flock has begun kind of widening out over the area. It's probably covering about a full mile. They're spaced out, kind of, but there's still this swirling of shadows around the treetop. It's most likely, from what you can tell, one of the other birds may have made it back to camp, so they're searching for others that might be approaching.
Okay. Yeah, let's take a shot at one of them.
All right, roll that volley and roll your damage.
What?
And what is your selection?
Let's say, let's decrease ammo by 1.
Yeah,
Say
you have
that,
to fire a
it took
couple.
a few shots in order to
it's
get him.
moving around. Yeah, Logar, you see Terrace take a few shots into the air. It strikes one of the birds, who calls out. You look up, and part of this cloud is now heading towards you.
Are we fighting? We're fighting! Yes!
Of course we're fighting.
I just start slamming my sword onto my shield. Come at me!
You all can see that there is a large group of these birds heading towards your direction. It will be an onslaught, but you've also seen these birds have tended to dive at you talons first. The Logar, you see that there's 2 coming straight at you, diving down from the ground. Talons first. There's about another 3 behind them. They're all kind of coming in this formation of just straight down towards all of you. What do you want to do?
I want to take my sword and just impale it through both of the ones coming at me. Just slam it through one side and then out the other side and then through the other side of the bird.
Sure, yeah, that sounds like a hack and
shot.
slash. Pretty hardcore. Let's see that hack and slash there. Roll your damage.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Yeah, you're able to get through one, and you pierce the other. You definitely damage it, but they both come down full force as you're putting your sword through them, and you take 1d6 plus 1 with 2 piercing damage.
6 plus 1.
Sirach, the creature that has just been pierced by Logar, kind of turns away from him and begins charging after you, going for your head. What do you want to do?
Well, since they decided to provoke so many, I'm gonna have to go big or go home.
You're already in snake form, though. Or did you? Yeah.
No, when I came down out of the tree, I reverted.
Okay. So you're gonna have to do something to allow yourself enough time to do the change. Change is not instantaneous. So you want to change into a Goliath. You need to do something to make sure the bird doesn't get to you in time. you gonna do?
I'm going to take the small carving knife out and try and like flick it and basically just kind of knock it off course, or like stab it in the foot or something, so it reels back and doesn't get to me in time.
All right, it sounds like you're trying to do a volley, trying to throw this tiny little carving knife. Go for it. Roll that dexterity volley. Yeah. All right, and roll your damage.
What would the damage be on that small knife?
Your normal
Just a
damage.
6?
It's just your normal damage.
Yep.
Well, my normal damage is actually increased by other things, so just a D6.
Yeah. Yeah. It veers off course. In fact, you impale it, and the bird begins flying away with your carving knife impaled. But Terrace, you notice that there are 3 more birds coming at you, followed by a few more, followed by a few more. It's going to be quite a few birds heading your direction. So as you look up and you see those birds, Kenshin, a vomitous pile of puke and ill repute is about to be vomited by these 3 naked, eerily silky, just ugly birds on top of cage where...
Oh, hell no. Oh,
Large
hell
man.
no. Oh, hell no.
In the meantime, you hear the prayers of the missionaries maybe a little bit louder.
I am going to pull some Kenshin stuff, and I'm gonna bound up the side of this cage, right, like I'm targeting my leap between 2 of them, so that, like, they have to turn to track me, and then whichever one is the middle one, because there's 3 of them, so whichever one is the middle one, I'm going to hit with my sword.
All right, yeah, let's see that dexterity to get up that cage. Danger being these birds puke, or you might not quite get all the way up and just end up falling far to the ground.
That's always fun. Left. Okay, +1.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's bad. As you bound up the cage, one of the birds lets loose its vomit, which strikes you right in the face. But you happen to be just outside the cage and begin falling far towards the ground. As you take 1d6 acidic damage, and you take another d8 as you fall on the ground.
Nice.
Ouch.
The acid is quite painful.
We're gonna scrub that off with some leaves. Rounds.
Yeah, I think it actually has left you sick.
That's a disability, isn't it?
That's a debility, yeah.
Ooh, -1 on my con checks.
That's a lot of damage in the disability. That's sad.
It is. I mean,
It happens.
treetops ninjas, you gotta be careful.
Yeah, and the dice gods, like, I mean, that is literally the lowest I can roll.
It is.
It's,
You want to do something awesome?
Yep. So 1d6 plus 1d8.
Yeah.
Watch, this is going to be a super high one. Oh, no.
Not bad. Not good.
Minimum on one, maximum on the other, so
Yeah.
7 points.
Your armor.
I don't have armor. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you do. You have if you're not wearing armor.
Oh, I get to take armor from that?
Yeah, for the falling damage.
Oh, okay. So
6.
yeah, my armor absorbs the falling damage, so I only take 6.
Yeah, you're on the ground now. You look up and you see the cage is about 20 feet, and there's probably 60 of these. They look like very large nests, but they actually have like windows built into them and these bridgeways all between. And you see a few larger of these nests and a few smaller ones. There's just a lot of them, and you're kind of in the middle of this whole area.
Gotcha. Give me a second. I need to look some up. Equipment. No, that takes too long. Why do I not have it listed on there? I know I have one. Edward gave me one. Healing potion.
1d10?
Yes, or one debility.
Okay. I'm just gonna remove the debility.
Yep.
I'm a warrior. I'm not the hit point damage. I'm okay right now.
Yeah, you start to feel a little bit nauseous, like just the whole sensation of this burning in your eyes, your nose, the smell, all of it. You're feeling sick, so you down this potion. It's kind of sweet, but also kind of thick, like Pepto. As soon as you do that, you're like, okay, nausea's gone. But I'm long ways down.
I'm gonna start stalking. Like that's the best way to describe my walk. I am stalking towards whichever tree appears to have the biggest nest in it.
Okay.
And I am once again bellowing out my challenge to whatever their leader is.
Go for it.
Because Kenshin has reached the point of pissed off at this point. So he is, and then it's +2. Spend my last prepared. Did that? Nope, it's just +1. Spending my last prepared. Don't have preparation anymore. Goodbye, preparation. I don't know why I deleted the whole entry. I guess I could have left it there. I'm sure I'll get preparation again at some point.
Never again. It's gone.
Never again. It's done. You've only
cannot
got
be
it
prepped.
once. There we go.
You feel a quick tug at your shirt as two of these birds grasp you and begin carrying you up. Very large nest-like structure.
Good.
They quickly drop you down, and you stand in the middle of this nest is this massive white and blue egg. It's about 10 feet tall, much larger than any of these other birds could possibly be.
Nice.
Sitting in the middle of the nest. You start hearing thunk, 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 as the entire nest is ringed by probably 25 birds, and they just sit there watching you. Kind of like he told us to take us, and we took him. As you stare at the egg, boys in blue, Logar, you see that there is an onslaught of birds that has taken off away from you. There's now only a few birds heading towards your direction, but they appear to have stopped. They appear to be kind of like drawn away from something. Something is calling them back to camp, but there's two that are still within a few feet away from you. What do you want to do?
Are they like flying? Can I reach them?
Yeah, I mean, they're within quick reach. Tackle, stab, touch, kiss, hug, pull a feather, flick a toe.
Yeah, pull a feather. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull all the feathers. I'm gonna rip the wings off of one. I'm gonna grab it, jump on its back, and just rip.
All right, is
Or do my best.
that an honorable
super
death for
violent.
this creature? That sounds pretty brutal. First, it's beheading, and are we having another Rohan incident? But no, if that's what you want to do, I mean,
Well, I mean, it's not. Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, I'll just rip its head off.
all right, yeah. Well, let's go ahead and let's roll a hack and slash then. See if you can get past the talons.
Oh.
No.
Oh well.
No. In fact, it picks you up, and as it picks you up, you actually drop your shield on the ground, and you are picked up, and you look down. You see that there's all these nest-like structures all around the top of the treetops. Directly below you is some kind of bamboo vine cage. There appears to be an empty set of black leather armor laying on the base of this cage, and there's three of your brothers huddled in the corner doing meditation. The bird drops you, and you kind of land with a thud. The cage bounces down and bounces up, and you end up sitting next to you, and one of the brothers reaches over and touches you. Logar. It is great to see you, but that beast that you brought with you is going to kill us all.
I bring many beasts. Which one in particular? The silken one?
The man in silk. He's not from this place. I don't know where they've taken him. I saw them take him to that huge nest over there. I have no idea why. I don't know how we're gonna get out of here. We were on our way down to Port Crane with these scoundrels, these swords for hire that told us they would get us there safe, but they've had troubles with these feathered creatures. Every time they've come through, they always hunt them for sport, and this time the creatures knew they were coming. I don't know how, I don't know why, and they attacked us when we were sleeping, and they took us here, and they've now killed them all. There's none of them left. It's just us. I don't know what they will do to us. There's too many of these beasts. I don't know how we'll get them to stop.
Fear not. I will deal with the situation. How high is the cage off the ground?
About 20 feet.
Ah.
And you got about a probably 5 to 8 foot climb to the top, and then another couple foot jump over to the little structure, the breezeways up there, where you look up and you see there's really 3 disgusting, completely featherless, naked birds perched up above the cage, just watching at the moment. Terrace, Logar was just picked up, flown away. You don't know where. You do see that the other birds have now turned around and flown back to the coop. What do you want to do?
I run, grab Logar's shield, and continue to follow after where Logar went.
And Sirach, are you following?
Yep. Well, it's more of like a thudding along, but yeah.
Yeah. You both reach the edge of this encampment. You look up and you see that there's probably about 50 or 60 of these nest-like structures in the trees. You see that there's a very large nest towards the very far distance of the camp, and it appears to have a ton of these birds perched around it. A few hundred yards inside the camp, you can see a cage dangling down, and there appears to be 4 figures standing in it.
One of them happens to be very shiny.
Well, that must be where Logar is. Any sign of Kenshin?
No, not that I see.
Well, we better get his shield back to him. Go after the cage.
Wait, do I see them on the ground?
You see them
would be
start
able
to
hear them
approach.
coming.
Logar, you want
Yeah.
to do anything?
I want to, Mike, do the missionaries look injured?
They don't look injured, no. They just look very frightened. It's just a bad
Then
situation.
I'm gonna take a rope out of my adventuring gear and basically loop it around all the bits of the cage and throw it down and have a Sirach pull. Yell at him to pull it. Pull the cage down.
Okay. Are you trying to do this stealthily?
Yeah, sorta.
Okay.
Trying.
Let's have you do some defy danger, but I think for this one, let's see.
I'm just gonna talk the rope into submission. Rope.
Yeah, I guess it would
attach
be
yourself.
quick thinking. So intelligence once more. The danger being the birds will see you like they do, and they all let out a very loud screech before vomiting this disgusting green acid on top of your
cool.
lovely cleaned and polished plate armor, where you take 1d6 plus 2 damage, and it's probably going to start eating through your armor if you don't get it cleaned fairly quick.
Cool.
The loud screech alerts a few others, and Sirach, you
acid
see...
damage?
What's that?
Is any of that canceled by the armor?
What is your armor?
3? Like plate?
No. I mean,
No,
well, no. It's...
Alright, so I take 8 damage.
I'm trying to think. I mean, what kind of headgear are you rolling with?
It's a full helmet. It's a kind of like the Templars, kind of square, but not entirely.
It's a great helm.
Yeah.
That's what they're called.
Yeah.
No, it's getting through the cracks. It's liquid. It's seeping through. But Sirach, you see 3 of these birds kind of dive down to the ground and kind of just start waddling around in the middle. Kind of like they're sentries, keeping their eye out for anything like a large giant that's hiding behind a very small tree.
Just peeking
Well,
behind the tree.
I mean, the tree's going to be a nice object to throw, and I could probably hit all 3 of them.
Probably could. That's what you want to do.
Give it a shot.
They're sitting close enough.
Now you're thinking like Kenshin.
Just
Everything
strength.
at your disposal.
And roll your damage.
Tree's a little bit stubborn to come out of the ground.
All right. Yeah, you're able to hit one, but it alerts the other 2 as this one bird is just thrown across and boom, smashed against the other tree. The other 2 head straight towards you and Terrace. They go after you, Terrace. The talons are out. What do you want to do to dodge these birds?
Why dodge when I have a shield on my back that belongs to my my paladin friend?
Absolutely. Yeah, it sounds like you're going to try to power through this, so defy that danger with strength to duck behind the shield and feel no pain. All right. Yeah.
It's heavier than it looks.
It is like you basically can see a few options here. You'll be able to dodge both of them, but because of the force they're coming in, the talons are actually going to sink into the shield, and you're going to be taking the ride that we all know, or you're going to be able to kind of glance off the blows of one, but take the blow of the other one.
Let's take one blow, deflect one blow.
Okay. So you take 1d6 with 2 piercing damage. One comes through and clips you in the shoulder. The other one gets batted away
It does.
right into the direction of Sirach. However, Kenshin, you are standing in this nest. You can tell the birds are agitated, but they're also confused.
Are there any large feathers in this nest as well?
Not any larger than the other birds appear to have. You see a lot of it almost looks like tribute. There's a lot of berries and fruits, but you'll also see things like swords and a lot of black leather armor is down there. Few bones.
Walk forward and touch the egg. We'll see what happens.
It feels quite warm to the touch.
And it's like 10 feet tall.
Yeah, it's a big egg. This is a big ass egg.
That'd be a good omelet.
I am going to I think I'm gonna discern some realities here.
Sounds good. Yeah, get a good feel, get a good read.
Need some...
Gonna stroke the egg, get down, kind of smell it a little bit.
You know, look at like the bones, see how they've been, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh, shiny.
Yeah, this egg is warm. It's big.
It's definitely
This night is going exactly as planned.
yeah, it's definitely a very warm, big egg, but they've had enough of this strange thing looking at their leader. So within a few moments, you find yourself picked up, flown away.
Nah, I'm gonna defy danger.
Yeah, but you missed your roll there on discern
Oh.
realities. So this is happening because you were not paying attention to what was going on. You were too
Gotcha.
closely studying the egg. And so one of these birds was able to get the drop on you. And you find yourself dropped back into the cage where you see a slightly not as shiny but still there figure hanging out with his brothers. You look a little bit further down on the ground and yeah, you see your other two friends, Terrace, who is wielding a shield for some reason, is bleeding a little bit from the shoulder, and a giant who appears to have just thrown a large log across the forest. They are fighting with two birds down there.
Excellent. Oh, you let them spit on you, eh, Logar?
It hurts.
It
There's-
does.
there's
Wipe
pain.
it off. Wipe it off. Wipe it off. Do either of your brothers happen to be knowledgeable in the arts of magical healing? My friend Edward was quite skilled in them.
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Yes. Sure.
Sounds like somebody's trying to possibly, I don't know, spout some lore about his religion on what missionaries can actually do.
I don't know.
That's why you're spouting lore.
Right. Nope. There's nothing.
Because the Lost are focused on death and like having a good death and going to a good death heaven, they don't really care much about life and providing life and healing to give a longer life. So unfortunately, they don't.
I do have one question though.
Perfect. That question.
Does lay on hands work on me?
On yourself? Can you lay hands on yourself?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe
Oh.
so. If so, there would be a lot of really awkward moments late at night. I feel so good. I feel so good.
I've never felt better.
The gods have blessed me.
It should say in the description whether you can.
I
just
believe it
when you
says
have
to.
someone.
Yeah, someone.
Yeah, if it says it, yeah,
They might be vague with their terms, but not.
not that big.
Yeah.
All right. Well, whatever. I don't have a health potion or anything, so.
Sirach, you got two birds heading towards you. Oh, you have one bird headed towards you. The other one's actually in a fight with Terrace. What would you like to do, Mr. Goliath?
Well, that little birdie's gonna have a little big hand around him.
That is your Goliath.
Yeah, just
Smash?
grab.
Yeah, or grab.
Yeah, that last one.
Grab. Yeah, you grab it. You got a birdie in your palm. What do you want to do with it?
Well, I'm just gonna kind of do that whole, like, break him over my knee.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your damage for me.
4.
Like, what the hell, dude? It's just gonna fly
He's-
away.
Hey,
These
okay,
damage
so
rolls
Yeah.
tonight.
can we all just, like, hit refresh on Roll20 real quick?
I'd rather not. I'd rather keep my like decent hits.
Yeah, it kind of whimpers and immediately flies back up into the air, a little confused
no
over the whole
spine.
situation. Terrace, this bird's trying to rip your, well, at least try to reach out and touch face, possibly shoulder, knees, toes, anything at this point. What do you want to do with this bird?
I'm gonna stab it.
Yeah, go ahead and roll that hack and slash.
Oh.
Yeah, you try to lunge forward at it, but it jumps up, like it flutters up in the air real quick, and as you go forward, your momentum carries you right into the talons. It picks you up by the shoulders. You're carried up into the air about 20 feet, and you look down. You happen to see that there is a cage lying down below you. Standing in it are a friend, Logar, another friend, Kenshin, and 3 huddled figures in the corner. You're dropped down. You look up. You see that there are 3 naked, featherless birds perched up above the cage. Find yourself in the cage.
Welcome, friend.
Logar, Terrace is just. You're in a cage. The birds just appear to be restless, but doing nothing more than watching you at this point. They seem to be more frightened by the giant that is down below. The 3 naked birds are still keeping a close eye on this cage, and your brothers are still doing their prayers in the corner.
Like bamboo, right?
What's
So
up?
when you're like talking in a jar, man,
Huh?
you got quiet all of a sudden.
I don't know why it happens.
It's all good. It's the vomit. It got in your throat.
I don't know what it is.
It's all up in there.
Every orifice.
I mean, I don't know. Hear me? I guess.
Yeah, I can hear you. It's fine.
I just want to. I want to cut my way through the cage.
Okay.
Lash it open. Yeah.
Sounds good. I mean, this is a pretty sturdy cage. So,
I'm a pretty sturdy knight.
does anybody possibly want to help him with this thing? Possibly aid him?
I'd rather keep the shield on me to block any attacks if things go wrong. So
I mean, you have
like he's trying to cut through, and
you have 3 naked birds that are watching everything you do, and they obviously don't want anyone to escape. So what's your plan with that? The 3 of you can have this discussion. Logar's saying he wants to cut through. While you guys are having that discussion, figuring that out, Sirach, down on the floor, 2 of these birds heading towards you. The one that you just tried to bend over your knee seems to be particularly upset with you and is going towards your eyes. The other one appears to be going towards your side. What would you like to do?